And you return your gaze, you keep your gaze to the garden. It's a community. And you're aware the network of energy through the earth, through the environment and through the air, the body of the environment. And you feel, as you're observing, you feel to know which plants are not doing so well. Just know, feeling, intuitive sense. And so you send energy from your roots through the earth. It's the energy of love. Love always heals, love always uplifts. And you send your love through the earth to them. And in this way, it gets to the others as well. Everyone enjoys love. Everyone enjoys being loved. And if people are already in a loving space and they're receiving more love, that uplifts them even further. So you're doing it just with a sense of goodwill towards all of life. And you feel well because you have given in such a way. And at the same time, you are feeling love coming from the other plants, the other beings in your garden, in your shrubbery, whatever. Because as you give, it's your energy. And you receive back simplicity. It's the in-breath and the out-breath. It's breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Just gentle. As you give and you receive, you feel how it feels to be in both spaces. And you now see a bee coming, and just very gently feel the bee in your environment, on you, the flower. Just feel the energy of the bee, hear it, and you feel its busyness. Busy as a bee, has a purpose in coming to you. And you understand that and you embrace, you open to it because it is a sharing, cross-fertilization. And you watch it. And you also participate in sharing freely that of yourself that can help others. And you feel joy because it's given unconditionally. And it is a contract between you and the bee on an energy level. Slowly you find yourself merge as one with the bee. You feel the difference in your body. It's a very different energy calibration, the bee to the flower. And you're able to look at the flower from the perspective of the bee. And you are also able to see your garden from the perspective of the bee. So many flowers, so many things to cross-fertilize, so much to do before returning to the hive. The bee knows its purpose, knows to what end, to what outcome it is doing it, and it gets on with doing what it needs to do. And so you find yourself lifting off from the flower. You feel your wings move very fast, and you feel, you experience, you remember the joy of flight. You move from flower to flower with purpose, saying hello here, touching there, fertilizing there. And as you arrive at each flower, you know why you are there. What is the purpose? What is the outcome that creates the journey? Most of all, it's the joy of movement and the joy of flight, to be a tiny body and a specified purpose, and to be welcomed wherever you go, because essentially you are the bringer of the light. Just breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. You are just air and movement. And from the view of your flight, you see the whole of the garden from above, very different perspective. And as you land on each flower, each shrub, each tree or each herb, they all smell different, and you revel in the enjoyment of all your senses: touch, taste, smell, sight, hearing, being uplifted by essentially a symphony of the individual aspects of each garden. And then the garden as a whole. Just breathing in and breathing out. You are all at the same time, in your body, not of your body, and in the garden with sweet memories of movement and stillness all at the same time. And so, as you feel the sun start to move, always in its downward arc, towards sunset, you feel the tone, the color of the energy change. It's a different energy moving to dusk. And you start to head home to the hive. Deposit, to give what you have received from the community of the garden back with other bees, all busy doing with purpose and very focused intent. There's no room for really anything. Nothing else but the focus, the intent, and the joy of sharing what you have uncovered during the day. And as dusk moves to darkness and moon energy arises, everything, the hive, self, bathed in silver, you prepare yourself in your peace of the hive for rest and repose. You feel how it feels to being in a space of giving, receiving, sharing, of experiencing lots of new things. And you are now in a space of repose. Energy arises, and then it settles again. And then it arises, and it settles, just like the tides. The moon, sun, has its own cycle. You follow the cycles of life. It's a deliberate movement that is not fast in terms of nature, but very deliberate and purposeful. And yet the most important part of every cycle is not just the cycle itself, it's the space in between the cycles. Very, very important, because space is where you bring energy back to yourself, to consider, to reflect, to know, to acknowledge, to refute, to whatever. And in this space, new life arises. Just an in and an out. The only thing really any importance is your breath. And you are just breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. The awareness again in the body, where the breath is, how it's going down, where it's going. From the lungs, how does it move? What does it feel like? And then how the body feels. Do you have a body? Or are you just space? You just feel all of this to know. And then you release all the energy. All the energy is released. And you are floating in nothing. And so it is.